up, guys? Welcome back to the Off Tap Podcast. We are back, and I hope you guys have had a good weekend because we're back with some of the biggest news I think that has hit the net all year. Just when I thought the news could not get any bigger, oh lordy, 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 and the news just goes out and becomes absolutely freaking next level mind blowing. For you guys that don't know, this is what has happened. We're just gonna dive in. I don't even know how to give this a segue. I just gotta freaking drop it, because if you don't know about this, well, this has only been a matter of hours since it's dropped, so I'm not gonna, blame you for not being in the loop yet. But Mayweather, Money Mayweather, Money Floyd Mayweather, 50-0 Mayweather, arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time, Mayweather, perhaps even the greatest, some may say, Mayweather, undisputed, undefeated Mayweather, the guy who freaking can't be stopped, won't be stopped, bad boy for life. Woo, that should be a song. I know it is, but y'all know. Anyways, Mayweather, that very same Mayweather, 50-0, is confirmed to be fighting. Confirmation. It is not a maybe. It is not a dream. This is a reality. It is actual, factual Mayweather fighting Logan Paul, brother to Jake Paul, who just knocked out Nate Robinson, made him into a meme. Knocked him out multiple times, actually. Technically, he hit the dude hit the mat like 3 times or something in the fight. They should have stopped that fight in the first round. But anyways, freaking that brother, Logan Paul, who fought KSI, who first fight with KSI, it was a draw. The next fight, guess what? He lost in his professional debut. Because the second time around, they was like doing the professional thing. It was considered a professional fight. They got the license and everything. No headgear. Freaking 10-ounce gloves or whatever I think they were 10 ounce they ended up with. It was the real deal, dude. Real proper fight. 1-1. That Logan Paul. Sorry, 0-1. But draw and the loss. Now, some people say he got robbed. He shouldn't have lost that fight. Some people say he won it. There's a little bit controversy around that, but the records showed now that he is 0-1. An 0-1 fighter going up against a 50-0 fighter. Now, this might seem like something that would never happen. A lot of people said it would never happen, but I want to be the first to say I knew it would happen. I knew it would happen. I'm not the first to probably say that, but I am definitely probably one of the few who believed it could happen. It would happen. I knew it would happen, though. I knew it. Because Logan is very smart. Logan, this guy, he's one of the greatest freaking social media minds that's ever existed. I'm telling you right now, the dude has his brain hole functioning at full capacity. He knows how to lock in those deals. And he shares kind of that Floyd mentality. I think he knows how to make the Benjamins, the chinga chinga. And money talks any day of the week. It doesn't matter who you are. If you got the right price, you will find yourself doing something that you thought you would never do. If the money is right. If the money is right. There is a dollar figure that I would go and fight freaking Floyd tomorrow. And Mike Tyson at the same time. If the money's right. I'll do it. Sure, I might not be the same afterwards. I might not be able to enjoy the money the way I would have initially for the first few freaking months after I recover from getting my butt whooped badly by those two greats of all time. But I'm saying, for the right amount of money, yeah, I would do stupid things like that. Now, this is the thing, though. Give me some time to train, and I'd be more confident. And Logan has had some time to train. He's not a novice exactly in the ring. It's not like he's just stepping out from behind the microphone of Impulsive. Allegedly, argumentatively, the #1 podcast in the world, says the whole Impulsive team. Now, I can't confirm if this is true. I think this is more just them saying it, because there's some podcasts out there, some people like, I don't know, Rogan and Joe Biden, who might, I said Joe Biden, Joe Budden. Hey, tune into the Joe Biden podcast, the Joe Budden podcast, who might say otherwise, who might think they might have the #1. I personally am comfortable having the #4 podcast in the world. #4 is fine. I'm happy with that. Yeah, oh my gosh, dude. Look, guys, at the end of the day, this is going to be a huge fight. Money talks, and Floyd ain't no freaking idiot when it comes to money. He hears dollar signs, he goes, sign me up. Freaking Logan, obviously had the right number. And Logan and Mayweather was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? He said it many times. If the price is right, money, anything is freaking, if the price is right, the money's there, money, he'll go for it. He'll do it. That's how him and Conor ended up in that huge fight. Freaking Conor, McGregor, and Floyd. That fight, which Floyd was really just messing around with Conor, dude. He just was having fun with it. You know what I mean? He could have easily had ended that early on, but he had to give people their money's worth because there was a huge paycheck. It was 600,000 that he got paid for that, or he ended up making out of everything all up. It ended up being like 600,000 or three. It was between 300,000. I'm sorry. Why am I saying thousand? 600 million or 300 million, something crazy like that, dude. It was something over that amount, like lots of zeros afterwards, a big, huge amount of dineros. Okay? Crazy money. So you can imagine that this money situation between Logan and Floyd had to be break the bank type of dollars, you know what I'm saying, for this to happen. Now, on the flip side, maybe I think monetarily speaking, it probably was less money than the Conor fight. And I'll tell you why I think so. Because Logan brings something else to the table that Conor, even though Conor is great, he's one of the best, MMF, why am I saying MMF? MMA fighters that's ever existed. He's the real deal. He's made a name for himself as well. He's a bad boy. He's legit. But the one thing that Logan brings to the table is that Logan is a social media sensation. He is absolutely worth his weight in gold from a social media, standpoint. He's probably one of the biggest names that you could go and fight, and it really is going to really get everyone to tune in and talk about it. So even if initially their amount that they agreed on, wasn't the biggest amount, compared to, maybe the McGregor fight. And I don't know if it was or not. I'm just saying hypothetically, the money that they generate from the pay-per-views and everything associated with that, advertisers, whoever sponsors this one's going to come on board, the whole 9 yards, whoever is going to be taking care of all that, they're going to probably get a cut of that money there, and it will definitely make up for any other, cheddar. We saw the Mike Tyson fight with Jake, just, the whole, that fight. Mike, for you guys that don't know, again, you have to be under a rock to not know that Mike came out of retirement and fought freaking Roy Jr. At the end of the day, that broke records itself. That fight there, exceeded expectations. A lot of people wanted to see if Tyson was going to have what he had before, if he was going to look like his old self. And it's Tyson, dude. So that was huge. And you have then, again, another huge social media sensation on the card. You have Jake Paul, brother to Logan Paul. These guys are rolling with over 22 mil plus subs just on YouTube alone. We're not talking about Instagram. We're not talking about Twitter. We're not talking about freaking anywhere else. Vine, Facebook, wherever they have had a social media presence. We're not talking about their Disney followers. You know what I'm saying? They have a following, a huge, huge following. So it makes sense from a publicity, from a promotional, from a, that type of, I want to get more freaking, you want to get your name out there more and be relevant. You, right now, getting in the ring with a social media powerhouse is the way to do it. If you can make something happen with the people who are running the social media game right now, that's how you make even a bigger name for yourself. Now, obviously, Floyd has a big name, but, at the end of the day, the boxing world has benefited greatly. Some don't want to admit it. Some people don't like it. But the facts are the facts. YouTube boxing has helped raise boxing kind of from the dead a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Tyson Fury and freaking Wilder, that fight that just happened, dude. The fight with Tyson just broke that record. The money they made from that, they're freaking current heavyweight stars. They're the freaking current crop of big names. Okay. And their fight, I think, pulled in, I don't know. I'm not going to try to give me figures, but I think it was like 800,000 or something. I can't, I think, don't even get me to, I think it was like that in pay-per-views or something like that. And the Tyson fight did over 1 million. So here's the thing, man. Like, people want to see what they want to see, and at the end of the day, Tyson, who hadn't been in the ring for 20 years, something around that amount, who ended his career in a lot of kind of negativity a bit. You don't really get a lot of positive points for wanting to eat someone's ear like it's a chicken McNugget. If you could freaking treat someone's ear like it's a chicken McNugget and be like, yo, man, where's the dipping sauce? I need to go ahead and dip that in that chicken McNugget. Let me get that. Man, I didn't eat anything before the fight, man. Don't hate on me. So he didn't end his career in the highest of notes. He took some losses. He didn't. Yeah, and there was always controversy, a lot of different things that went on in Tyson's life. So this was a redemption story. People wanted to see this guy come back after all these years and do his thing, and he did. People like to see stuff like that. People like to see the underdog stories. People love those. We watched how many Rocky movies we watch, and Rocky going up against Drago. Ivan Drago is the biggest of all time. That movie there where he fights Drago, I will break you. Huge underdog story, man. This is an example of an underdog story. Logan Paul. No one thinks he can win. No one thinks he has a chance, even though on paper it looks like he would have a chance, because let's talk about the age difference. There's an age difference. Now, I personally am one of those people. I always say age, technically, even though it does matter, I think it doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter in terms of knowledge and skill that Floyd has. He's been boxing his entire life. So in this instance, one could argue that age, the knowledge, all of that plays huge dividends in favor of Floyd. He's got years of experience over, Logan. But on the flip side, youthfulness, Logan's 25. Floyd's like 45 43, I think. There's like, it's almost double, you know. It's like a huge age difference, 18-year age difference. So youth, you know, allows for more, allegedly, perhaps, maybe a bit more, you know, agility, maybe a bit more endurance, things like that. You know, I don't, you know, it's hard to know. It depends on also Logan's training and how well conditioned he is. And I've seen a lot of his training, sparring things and different things he's done, and he's definitely put in the wrench time to make sure that he's fight ready in all the fights he's done so far. Unfortunately, that hasn't resulted in a W yet. I don't think this is going to necessarily be an easy fight for him to get that said W, but it is going to be an entertaining fight. More of an exhibition, obviously, if you will, because I don't think it's going to get sanctioned either, because there's also a weight difference. They're in different weight classes. They're not even in the same ballpark. Okay, I think Floyd, he's like 150 or something? That sounds about right. 150 pounds? Come on, Logan's got to be pushing 200 and something, man. At least 200 minimum. 200, 210, 205, 200. Even if 200, let's say 200, that's still 50 pounds difference. So you're talking a huge weight difference. You know, these are two different weight classes. This wouldn't happen. This wouldn't get sanctioned. But again, you know, with weight, you would think comes a bit of strength, a bit more strength behind his punch. I want you to hear real quick, if you haven't heard this, let's listen to Logan explain this himself. Logan said this. This is what Logan said. And this actually, this is what Logan said. Okay, it's not going to happen. Unbelievable. My computer's crashed. We'll be back in a second. Let me fix this. All right, we're back with a fresh 29.59 as well, which is probably good because for you guys in podcast world who don't know, I have a 29.59 limit on my camera. So the crashing of the freaking MacBook, the timing is probably perfect. I probably really needed to get that 29.59 fresh restart anyways. So it just sucks though, doesn't it? By the way, don't let anyone tell you that Macs don't freaking crash. Do not buy into the hype. This thing crashes all the time. So, so don't buy into the hype. Anyways, let's talk about this little bit of footage I'm going to show you guys. Let's play this first, and let's see if it'll play this time about crashing. This is Logan Paul himself telling you that he will knock out Mayweather. Check this out.
Tell you this, if I caught Floyd in a real fight, what's up? If I caught Floyd in a real fight, street fight, whoop his ass. All right. No question. You got MMA, octagon, whoop his ass. Okay. No question. All right. The only place I think Floyd is safe, obviously the boxing ring, but to be honest, I don't give a fuck. Okay. I don't give a fuck. I would fight Floyd anytime, anywhere, any place. Doesn't fucking matter to me. If I caught Floyd with one punch, I would snap this fucker in half. Crack, my friend. Fletcher, you know me. I'm 8 inches taller. Yeah. I'm 40 pounds heavier. Yep. I'm half his age.
See, there you go. So he's pointing out those things I said. He's taller. So he's taller, 8 inches taller. So Floyd's about 5'9"? 5'9"-ish, right? 5'9", 5'8", 5'9". Logan is over 6 feet tall. He's at least 6'3", 6'4", 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", probably somewhere around there. So 8 inches taller, dude. 8 inches. So there's that height. Gives you that freaking reach advantage and all that good stuff. You know, he's pointing it out. He's saying it himself. This is what I was saying earlier.
I'm 2 times as hungry and 10 times as smart. Wow.
Woo! And that right there is also another huge selling point. People who are hungry, guys, I'm telling you right now, if you are hungry enough in life, If you got that much heart and you're super hungry, you can accomplish great things. It goes back to thinking about times in the Bible with David and Goliath. David would have weighed $109 himself going up against Goliath. And he freaking took down Goliath, took down the giant. This right here is that kind of story with the heart of David going against the giant, Mayweather. He's telling you right now.
I'm used to beating up people weaker and shorter than me. I know. I grew up with Jake. Dude,
I'm used to beating up people shorter and weaker than him. Did he say that?
Jake. I love Jake. I didn't even get paid to beat up Jake.
He didn't say a word.
Nah, nothing.
I was like, bro, you gonna fight Logan? He just kind of looked down and got in the car.
Bro, think about it. He got everything to lose. I got nothing to lose.
Man. And there you go. Another selling point right there. He's got nothing to lose. He's got nothing to lose, dude. When you got freaking nothing to lose, you have a different mentality. You'll take on these crazy things. You'll be like, at the end of the day, man, what do I got to lose? I got all to gain from this. And he's hungry enough to go out there and he's going to freaking box his heart out. I guarantee you that he also, when he had the idea in his head that I might do this, which probably came months ago, matter of fact, he's probably thinking after he got beat by KSI. So this is the thing, guys. After he got beat by KSI, okay, you got to think to yourself, after the KSI fight, he's got to be thinking, my next fight, how do I come back from that? And how do I make it a spectacle? How do I get people wanting to tune in? Because now my credibility as far as in the boxing ring, I've lost a bit of stock in that. I've lost a bit of stock. He could probably he fight his brother. That's a big fight. A lot of people want to see. People would tune in to see that. But there's not probably a lot of people who would ever in a million years, think of tuning in just to watch him solely as from he's a boxer. Because now he's an 0-1 boxer. Even though he looked promising, he looked good. I think he definitely, looks like he could do a little something. At the end of the day, he lost to KSI. So when you lose, especially early on, your clout goes down a bit as far as boxing. Now, social media wise, he's the man. So he's got that in his favor. Hence why he was able to lock down this big fight right here that absolutely everyone and their grandmother is going to want to watch. Everyone and their grandmother is wanting to watch this fight. This right here, this is a breaking records fight. This is going to break the other pay-per-view, the streaming, whatever. This is going to break all of those records. I promise you, it is going to be the biggest spectacle we've ever seen. It is inevitable that this is going to be the biggest pay-per-view event of all time. This right here is going to break every record thus far. It really is going to do that. And I gotta tell you, again, thanks to the power of social media, the power of YouTube in particular, the YouTube boxing scene has erupted. It is a thing. It is a huge thing. And just when you thought it couldn't get any bigger, it has gone and gotten even bigger. The timing for this is perfect. You couldn't ask for better timing because it's happening right after the Jake Paul and Nate Robinson fight, which Jake won. Jake winning actually helped with Logan because they're brothers. And a lot of people, even though, now this is what's really interesting, because even though Logan lost to KSI, there's a lot of people who think that Logan is, probably able to lay Jake down. A lot of people think that. A lot of people will think that Logan is a better fighter, even though there's probably 10 billion people more now, thanks to the Nate Robinson fight, which, again, it wasn't really him going up against anyone special, but it was just because it was such a huge fight You know, he was on the card with Tyson. It broke records. It has everyone buzzing. So when he knocked dude out 3 times, dude, he put him to the mat 3 times. So obviously that's created a lot of buzz and a lot of hype and a lot of just noise. So this make it even easier for Logan, his brother, to get the go-ahead for this fight. And again, money talks. Especially with Mayweather. He's one of those people who's like, put up the money, we'll make it happen. That's how he is, man. I could fight him if I had freaking the right amount of money. I could fight him. I mean, he goes and does these exhibitions against Japanese kids. Well, not Japanese kids, but, you know, these young Japanese fighters all the time. He goes there, does these exhibitions with them and all this kind of stuff. You know, he does it regularly. He does that kind of stuff. He's not afraid to do an exhibition match with someone if the price is right. Obviously, you know, the Conor thing was just, again, one of those situations where no one thought it would happen. Didn't really kind of believe it was something that could happen until it happened. And then now, because things like that has happened, because the impossible has become possible, people are wanting to see more of it. There's a market for this, a huge market for it. I mean, you guys, the names right now of people who want to fight. Let me tell you right now. There's this hockey dude who wants to fight. What's his name? Whoa. See, this is what happens when you get to be the #1 podcast in the world. You can afford to have people on the mixing desk and doing all this cutaways and footage for you. So I'm number 4. I'm claiming number 4 position. I ain't gonna even put myself in the top 3. We're the number 4 podcast in the world. That's where we go. That's gonna be our line. That's gonna be our thing. I'll give my other podcast the number 3 position, the Queen Show podcast. Tune into that. But look, this right here is a. Before we get to this video, I don't want to do this one yet. I actually want to show. So this is the one that's got everyone else talking now. Is the potential fight before and I'm kind of jumping around. It's all relevant, but we were talking about the whole fight scene and everything's going on because a lot of big things happening, big names dropping all over the place. But this is the other one that a lot of people want to see. That's now potentially going to happen because if Mayweather and Logan can happen, means any other fight that you thought could never happen is probably going to happen. And the next big one we're talking about is Jake Paul and Conor McGregor. People were laughing about this a week or 2 ago. They were like, yeah, right, this could not happen. But now, people are like, this is going to happen. They know it's a possibility. And it's a smart move on Jake's behalf because, you know, instead of going and fighting an actual boxer who has years and years experience of boxing experience, he's picking someone who is not a boxer, who's a, you know, mixed martial, you know, artist, kind of a mixed bag. You know, he's an MMA fighter. He does a little bit of everything. Boxing is not necessarily his strength, but he is a bit of a striker. You know, he can go out there and do what he does. You know, we've seen him. He does have, it's not like he doesn't have any experience boxing. He has boxing experience. So, but he doesn't have boxing experience on the level as someone who is boxing every day. That's their livelihood. That's their life. They've been boxing since 5 years old, you know, that kind of situation. But as far as MMA goes, Conor McGregor is one of the biggest names in the game, in the sport. And you don't even have to like UFC or any of that to have heard of McGregor because of his huge presence. He's one of those people who puts on a show. He's very entertaining. That's how Jake rolls as well. Like him or not, Jake is that same type of showman. You know, he's got that same type of personality, talk crap, freaking. People want to see that. People want to see the person that you hate the most get in the ring and get knocked out. You know, that kind of situation. This is a story that is going to continue to grow, guys. You're going to continue seeing these fights, these big fights. I was saying earlier, and I got distracted because I lost the thing. That's the thing. Evander Kane, that's his name, the hockey dude. Evander Kane wants to fight Jake or Logan. Evander Kane, hockey dude. I don't really know again how much experience he has. It's just kind of a random thing. But look, after Nate Robinson being the NBA dude wanting to fight, of course, people from other sports, NHL, why not? Why not get the freaking hockey dude to come out and freaking fight? This thing is blown up, dude. And look, there's been celebrity fighting matches back in the past where you'd have, who's that dude from, was it Willis or someone from Different Strokes, or I can't remember, Todd, I think it was Todd, was his name Todd or something? I think there's a few different people over the years who've done these little celebrity matches, and they were comical back then. It wasn't the same level. It's a completely different game. No one was really training and getting really fight shape, like 200% ready to go in there and fight, and taking it really next level serious back then. It was more of just, hey, let's just get in the ring and have some fun. And it was what it was. But this here, we're talking about people who are now putting the time in to train properly, to have actual professionals in their corners to help them get ring ready, and they're sparring with great boxers to get ring ready. So this is not something that anyone's going to take lightly. It's going to be entertaining, to say the least. But Jake has a head start on all these other people. He's like about 3 years in the making now. Jake is actually, whether again you like it or not, he is, for all sense and purposes, he's a pro fighter now. Okay, he's 2-0, mind you. He's a 2-0 pro fighter. Okay, so yes, he still is a YouTube sensation. He's a social media star. He's an ex-Disney star. But now you can add professional fighter to his thing. Whether the people he fought are legit hard fights or not, they did what they had to do to get their pro license. And technically, that's all it takes, dude. At the end of the day, there's different levels to pros. The definition of pro in any occupation is someone who is getting paid to do what they do. If you're getting paid, you're a professional. That's really what it boils down to. If you're getting paid the big check, guess what? You're pro. You're making money like a pro from your money, from your fight. But in this instance, they've had to do certain things to get their pro license. So whether you like it or not, whether it's something you want to hear or not, these guys are pro fighters. Okay? They might not be the top level yet, but they're putting in the effort to get there. And that you got to respect. You have to respect it. You have to respect it whether you like it or not. You have to respect the hustle. The freaking dedication, the commitment. It is not easy to step in the ring on the best of days, okay? I myself, I have over the years punched a bag a few times myself. I've been I love MMA and training, martial arts, and I love all that stuff. And I've done a little bit of something myself. And you guys, if you know, you look at my other channel, I have actually called out some people to fight. I actually made a couple boxing videos last year or the year before, something like that. And I got no takers. And that's okay, because that's good for me, because I didn't feel like getting punched in the face or anything anyways. But I will fight. I'm one of those people who, I'm hungry too. I'm hungry. I will fight the right person. If any one of these people want to get in the ring with me, I will do it. I don't care who it is. I don't care. It can be a guy even. I don't care. Girl, guy, billy goat, horse, freaking dog, cat. I'll fight anything. We'll do a chicken fight. It's probably even better. I don't know. I'd probably get beat by the chicken. Seen those chicken fights? You ever see those little chicken fights, those rooster fights they do? And freaking, those things are crazy, dude. People have the snake fights and all. At the end of the day, people like to see fights, man. So seeing your favorite social media star fight your favorite boxing star, dude, hell yeah. A lot of people want to see this. This is going to be the fight. all these fights. It's going to happen. There's other people, other YouTubers now coming out wanting to fight. There's tons of people wanting to fight now because they see it's getting bigger. Before, even already, when it was just YouTuber against YouTuber, already breaking freaking records. You know, KSI Logan, that first fight, that's what really, that fight there is the one that really got the YouTube fighting thing started in a bigger way. Even though KSI had fought freaking Weller and stuff early on, which was like the inaugural, I think that was the first kind of YouTube fight, I think it was. There had been other people and other things. You know, there's a lot of things here and there. JMX, I think he's fought some people and stuff as well. And he, even in MMA, I think he had a fight. There's a few different names out there to drop. On the undercard of KSI Logan, there was quite a few other YouTubers who fought and stuff. Yeah, it was great. And a lot of people wanted to see more of it. And eventually we did get to see more of it. You know, we saw Jake going up against Deji and all that. You know, these fights happened. And now it's helped to get us to where we are today. You know, there's other people too who actually aren't getting enough love. There's some other YouTubers right now who are putting in a lot of freaking effort and work to fight. And I know they've got some fights coming up in 2021. We're talking about Slim. Y'all know Slim, the YouTuber Slim, freaking dude. He's fought Fusi last year, and unfortunately for Fusi, he got beat so bad that he said he ain't fighting ever again. He just was with Alex on his channel there. Fusi did a video showing Alex how Alex Wasabi looking good. Freaking absolutely has been putting in the training time the past year. He's looking freaking like super good. And he's called out Fusi. He wants a rematch because in the sparring thing, Fusi knocked out Wasabi. And that's obviously ain't sitting well with Wasabi. But again, Slim beat Fusi so bad. Fusi's like, I ain't getting back in that ring. You broke my nose. My nose was messed up. I ain't paying all that money to get my nose fixed again. And he'd have a legit fear right now. Because once you get hit in the face like that, and you actually got like your nose messed up to the point where you have to get surgery, like major surgery to get your nose fixed and stuff, you know, you're going to think twice about doing anything like that ever again. Now, to be fair, Fusi, he looked good in, you know, like he was definitely looking good in some of his, you know, sparring. Anyone can look good when you're hitting the freaking, you know, the sparring mats and pads and, you know, all that. You can look good. Anyone can look good shadow boxing. You know, you can look good. I can get up right now and make you think I look great. Just shadow boxing with myself. They ain't gonna hit me back. My shadow ain't gonna hit me back. But here's the thing. Defense is the best offense. And that was Fusi's only real situation that let him down the most. He did not put his hands up. He should not be afraid. I think he should definitely get back on the horse and ride again. He just needs to learn how to defend himself. That's why he lost. He didn't have his hands up. He kept letting the dude punch him in the face without putting his hands up to block it. How are you going to, you know what I'm saying, win if you can't defend yourself? You have to be able to defend yourself. Which, speaking of defense, is going back to Floyd. We're talking about the best pound for pound defensive fighter out there on every planet. Okay, I was going to say planet Earth, but I'm sure every planet that exists, no one could take Floyd out defensively. Like, his defensive game is on point. That's how he fights. He's more a defensive dude. He freaking just got that defensive game so wired in. You know what I'm saying? So that's your biggest hurdle to try to cross to try to beat Floyd, is penetrating that defensive, great, huge wall that he has there. On the flip side, Logan has some strength behind him, man. He's a big dude. And like he said, one punch might be all it takes. So if you get, and look, anyone can get that one punch. Dude, boxing is unpredictable. All it takes is one lucky punch, dude. You get one lucky punch at the right time to hit someone at the right place and across the temple. Get that right, just lucky freaking punch is all it takes. One punch can change everything. One punch, you can knock someone silly. That's all it takes, dude. And Logan definitely has the strength, the brute force to be able to knock someone the F out. He can do it. He can do it. Now, what I was saying earlier is also, I promise you that Logan never stopped training. He might not have been in full training camp mode all this time, but he would have kept on training ever since losing to KSI, because at some point in time, you don't lose to KSI. You don't take a draw from KSI and not want to, at some point in time, want to redeem yourself. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You want to redeem yourself. And in the back of Logan's head, at some point, he's going to want to fight KSI again as well. He's going to want to. It's not sitting right in his... I can tell you right now, it's just not sitting right with him. It is not sitting right with him. I'm telling you. You do not ever get over that. So this fight right here is a way to really do a lot of things. It's going to give him, first of all, something no one will ever be able to take away from him. I fought Mayweather. I fought one of the greatest of all time. That right there by itself is worth its weight in gold. And depending on the outcome of this fight, even if he doesn't win, but if he can go the distance, okay? If he can go the distance, this is the thing. Now, we know he is capable of going the distance. With KSI, he went the distance. I'm not saying KSI is the greatest fighter of all time or anything, but, you know, going the distance takes one important thing. Again, stamina, endurance, courage, heart, hunger, all those things Logan has. He also has, again, in his favor, youth. So I think he can go the distance. I think he's able to take a punch and keep on going. And so I think he can go the distance. If he can just go the distance and just look half decent in there. He doesn't even have to win. But if he can just look half decent in there and go the distance, boom. People already going to see that as a huge accomplishment for him. It's going to look good. If he gets knocked out, I think people already don't expect him to really win anyways, but it just depends how long he can last for. If he can last for a while, then he did no worse than Conor did. You see what I'm saying? If he can last and go the distance, he did no worse than Conor. Plus, again, if you lose to Floyd, no one's going to go, oh my gosh, you lost to Floyd. He ain't going to become a meme from that. He's not going to get laughed at or anything, because, again, this is one of those fights where you're going against an undefeated 50-0 boxer, the greatest of all time. He's beat tons of big name fighters. It's not like he's never beat anyone big name. So at the end of the day, you're just chalking another one up on his tally. No one's going to laugh at this or so on. I think it's going to be more of a, wow, man, good for you for having the courage. Good for you for going out there and making something happen that a lot of people thought couldn't happen. This is a huge, huge score. No matter what happens, no matter what the outcome is, again, like Logan says, he has nothing to lose. What? He's going up against 50-0. What does he really have to lose? Dude, seriously. No one's even going to bat an eyelid if he loses. However, if Floyd loses, now we got a little bit of a situation. Because not only are you beating a professional fighter who's been in the game for a long time, but you're beating an undefeated fighter who no one else has ever been able to put down. And some people will then go, oh, but he's younger, he's age difference, his height, his weight. They'll make all these excuses why. But look, Floyd has put down bigger people before. It's not his first time fighting anyone who's bigger than he is. What's that dude's name? what's that dude's name? Carnell or something. There's a big dude, big, huge dude. He fought. You know, there's been examples of this. He's fought people bigger than him and he's done what he's, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, people are going to look for excuses anyways, but I think the hungrier person, this has always been my theory in life. The hungrier person, the person who's the hungriest, who wants it the baddest, who has the most heart in any given situation is the one who conquers the mountain. The one who will put the big freaking W on their freaking score freaking card for the rest of their life. The big W's in life, the scorecard of life. Those people are the ones who have the most heart and who are the hungriest. It's just the way it is. It's the way it is. You can accomplish unbelievable feats of greatness when you have that much heart, when you're that hungry. Your belief process, the mind, is a powerful thing. You can manifest anything if you believe it bad enough. You put all those factors together, and Logan has this belief that if I freaking hit this dude right, I'm going to put him down. I'm going to crack him in half. I'm going to snap him like a twig. Come on, yo. This right here is a David and Goliath story, an underdog story, a Rocky Balboa moment that this is going to change the boxing world forever. It's like the final little exclamation mark on the boxing world, because it's been changing thanks to social media, thanks to YouTube boxing. It's been changing, and this right here is the next exclamation to changing it forever and put new life into boxing, because boxing has been losing to MMA for a while now. You know, look, UFC has changed what we like to see as far as fighting. It's, you know, arguably MMA is obviously a lot more exciting. I should have known that 29.59 was coming. Yeah, look, there's so many different ways that you can drop someone in MMA. There's so many different fighting techniques and disciplines that you get to see in MMA. You know, MMA, it just makes it that much more exciting. You know, mixed martial arts is a lot of freaking fun to see on any day. And, you know, then seeing people freaking infusing wrestling and boxing and all these different things into it's a lot of fun to watch. It's great. So you get to see everything that you've ever loved all in one thing. So that's, you know, it is what it is. But UFC has been dominating. So boxing has lost a little bit of its shine a bit. And I think it's also due to the fact, again, I'm not hating on the current crop of heavyweights, but there was a time going back to like Tyson, you know, you got Ali, the greatest of all time. Think about the boxing greats that have existed, the Sugar Rays, the, you know, the Holyfields, the freaking Foremans. You know, there's these names that have existed in boxing that you wanted to see. They had big personalities and they had just a presence that made you want to tune in and see their fights. Tyson, you know, people get in the ring with Tyson, you were expecting that the fight was only going to last a minute or two. That was his thing. He'll knock you out in a second. People want to see stuff like that. So, I don't know, for whatever reason, boxing kind of right now, in recent years, you know, like you just, the hype, you don't hear about it. A lot of the boxers don't have the social media presence to really sell the fights on the level that now, thanks to the social media, the YouTube fighters coming on the scene, now they do have that. So it's a game changer for boxing. It's good. New life into boxing. Whether you agree, you don't like it or not, it has helped the sport of boxing big time. So you've got all these people lining up now who want to fight. I want to talk about Austin McBroom, who's very vocal at the moment. For you guys who don't know Austin McBroom, the Ace family. Again, one of the biggest families, if not the biggest family, as far as YouTube families go, they're rocking close to that 20 mil by now. I'm sure they probably close to that 20 mil sub mark. They're a huge family, huge fan base. They're really loved by tons. I mean, they've done big events already. They've put on big basketball events, sold out arenas in seconds, stuff like that. You know, so look, they definitely are a force to be reckoned with. So if whoever steps in the ring with Austin, that's going to be a big fight. It's going to be a big fight. It's going to be a lot of people wanting to see this fight. It will sell out if it's a situation where people are going to be able to see this fight. If, you know, we're soon getting back to that. You know, thanks to this vaccine, you know, I think we're going to reach a point where people are going to start packing up stadiums. Probably mid to late 2021, we might start seeing these things start coming to fruition again. If not 21, definitely in 22. But I would say by the summer 2021, we're going to start seeing a lot of this stuff start coming to fruition, where people are going to be packing out these stadiums, arenas, and they will pack it out. The Ace family fans are that strong. They've got that huge of a presence, that much social media power, that they will pack out and sell out a stadium in seconds. In seconds. Then you take on the other person they fight, which right now, Bryce, another freaking TikTok star. He's a TikTok star, but he's also got a presence on YouTube and stuff. But Bryce Hall, again, if that fight happens, because that's where it's looking like it's kind of, that might be the direction, people will want to see this. Bryce has made a huge name for himself. He's huge on social media, has a huge following, and he's been, you know, looking like he can fight a little bit. People want to see this, man. This is a fight that people want to see. Depending what happens from that, we might see Austin and Jake. I don't think we'll see Austin and Jake before we see someone like Austin and, you know, maybe Bryce or someone like that. We're going to see someone else before we see Jake in that. I think it makes sense. I think Jake needs to definitely play the role as the top boxer, YouTube boxer at the moment, because technically he is. He's got the best record out of anyone, and he's fought the biggest. I think Nate Robinson is a huge name to say you've conquered, even though skill-wise not necessarily, but as far as, you know, people who are huge. I mean, we're talking about the slam dunk champion. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about an NBA legend. So, you know, it is what it is. As far as we want to see these things. He was on the Tyson undercard. As far as, again, making a name for yourself and saying, hey, I fought on the Tyson undercard. Hello. Kind of puts Jake up there at the top of the list. 2-0, and they're both by knockouts. Okay, that kind of makes you, again, it's not like he fought two people and it went the distance. We're talking about two pro fights that he knocked them both out. Okay? Do you guys see what I'm saying here? That by itself says something, and you look at him and he's got some talent. He might surprise a few people if he fights McGregor. And the same thing with Logan. I'm telling you, he might surprise some people with this Mayweather fight. He might surprise some people. So there's a lot of people coming out of the woodwork right now that want to fight. A lot of people, you know, I think will continue. Now that this Mayweather fight, this means everyone knows anything is possible. It's really now a matter of money. Whoever's putting up the biggest purses right now is going to be the ones who are going to get these hands in these fights. I'm telling you right now. We're going to see some amazing fights coming up that no one thought was possible, because now this is going to open the door to a lot of these fights happening. I can't wait. I know you guys are going to be excited to see this as well. I don't think there's anyone who's not going to be excited to see this. Even if you don't like boxing, you're going to want to see this. That's the beauty. That's the other thing. It's because of the social media power of these guys, they are helping to bring more eyes on the boxing, and more people are starting to like boxing and want to get into boxing. Like now people are going out. If the gyms were open right now, imagine how many people would be wanting to get into a boxing ring and start freaking taking up boxing because they're seeing their favorite social media star now doing it. That's how it is, dude. So boxing is in a healthy position right now. We're going to see some great fights. It's going to happen. And I'm glad that other people have stepped up. You know, shout out to Triller. I always say the name wrong. But shout out to them for taking that Mike Tyson fight and putting Jake on the undercard and all that kind of stuff, because that was really good. Freaking, what's his name from Dana's? Freaking forgot his name, but you know, dude from who was the one who put together the KSI and Logan fight. I don't know why I forgot his name, Toygun Blank, but you guys know who I'm talking about. But I think he dropped the ball a little bit because, you know, he could have been the one responsible for locking in some of these other fights. But he I think he succumbed a little bit to the pressure he was getting. This is just my theory. I don't know this to be fact or fiction or not, but I got a feeling that, you know, a lot of people, because he was kind of the responsible, you know, he's the first to kind of do this at that level. A lot of fighters were giving him a bit of hate about it, you know, and I heard a couple times where he's like, nah, man, we're just going to have other real boxers, you know, and not wanting to, you know, talk about even for a minute there about, you know, Jake or anyone else, you know. And I think he kind of started to backtrack after he seen Jake and this latest one. The last time we seen him, now he's kind of back on the table. I think he will definitely want to get his hands into this again. He should have already just kept on pushing this agenda, because now even this one with Mayweather and there's with Logan, there's a different fight promotion behind this one. I can't remember the name of them, but there's different people associated with this one as well. So everyone sees the dollars, dude. Everyone now is going to be coming out the woodworks. They're going to be trying to put these fights together and make them happen. Again, money is going to be the driving force as to what we see moving forward. But I'm all in on it, man. I can't wait to see some of these fights. And I'll put it out there again. If anyone wants to fight me, bring it. I would love to step in the ring with anybody. I don't care who it is. Bring it. I don't care your gender. I don't care your sexual preference. I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care your religion. I don't care if you like Oreos or Chips Ahoy better. I don't care if you have freaking a professional record of undefeatedness or you have lost every fight. I don't care if you want to fight me. Let's go. Let's go. I'm just dropping it out there. Of course, I ain't doing it for free, though. Fighting no one for free, man. I need the dineros. All right, we got to be talking some cheddar here. I will fight for you know, a nice bag. Okay, especially because there's a good chance that, you know, I'm going to get hit a lot in the face and all over the place. At least I'm going to Fusi, no offense to you, but I'm going to be. I learned something from watching you not do this. And that's no hate on you. I'm just saying you got to make sure that your defensive game is on point if you want to get that. I think that's something you really need to work on, because if you can take the punches and defend long enough, you can open the door to an opportunity. And you know, man, I'm telling you right now, man, I'd be down. I'm down. If you want to fight me, hit me up. offtaplifeusa@gmail.com. Send an email right there. And let's talk about it and let's make it happen. Let's go. I mean, Gibbs, that's something we need to talk about. Gibbs. That's what I was saying. I forgot as well. Adam Saleh is another YouTube boxer who can do a little something and hasn't been getting the recognition I think he deserves as someone who's potentially out there who could do a little something. There's also Faye Sensei, another person who can do a little something in the ring. I told you all about Alex looking good. There's some potential people out there who I think we will see fight on possibly, if not a main card, but on the undercard. You know, there's some potential fights I think we're going to see in 2021. I think if Corona hadn't hit this year, we would have already seen a lot of other fights happen, but Corona kind of messed everyone's whole mind up a bit for a minute, and now people are starting to see that, hey, you know what, there's ways we can still put on these events, we can still make this stuff happen, life still has to go on. And I think everyone's reached that point, vaccine or not. We can't live this way forever. We can't continue to, you know, society and the whole nine. We just can't continue to live this way. It's not possible. You have to at some point just unfortunately be like, hey, well, life has to go on. The show must go on. We have to make the best out of the situation and continue living. We can't. Otherwise, humanity will die. You know what I mean? So thankfully, this vaccine seems to be a legit reality now, with tons of different makers claiming even 90 to 95% effectiveness. So fingers crossed they can get this to enough people quickly. I'm really disappointed in, I mean, I know everyone's wanted to be safe and everything about this, but at the end of the day, man, you got to look at it from it's not safe now for people to go out and about. I want to do I'm going to talk about this in another video, because I'm a little bit annoyed that it feels like our country is dragging the feet, you know, not dragging, I'm not saying dragging the feet, but we haven't gotten the approval from the FDA yet. Or, you know, we still haven't gotten that approval or whatever from whoever isn't FDA that we're waiting for, or somebody hasn't given the go ahead yet to say, yes, you can go ahead and start jabbing people with the fake vaccine. The UK has already been like, boom, yes, let's do it. Let's get it done. It's approved. At the end of the day, look at the alternative. It's already not safe. People are losing their life. People are already freaking dying from this. And what's worse than dying, dude? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if this potentially is going to keep people from dying right off the get-go, I personally don't see why you're dragging your feet. They've already done 3 different trials. You know, the 3 different, you know how they do the 3 different levels of testing, the groups with different people and this and that, whatever. They've done the 3rd group. The results are in. Freaking stop dragging your feet, dude. We don't have the luxury of waiting 5-10 years and all this anymore. Too many people have already died. More people. This shouldn't even be a thing. 2020, different topic for another day. But look, guys, I'm going to be covering all this fight stuff. Obviously, we're going to be talking about this more in future videos. So make sure you're lock and loaded, subscribe, notifications on, because we're definitely going to be talking about all this, a lot more. Keep it locked and loaded. I love each and every one of you. Going to end this video here. As always, remember to show it to the fullest and keep it off tap. We're out. In case I don't want to freaking fall and drop everything on film, that just sucks. Alright guys, we're gonna do a little mission right now. Alright, this is just for you guys.